Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again. Welcome to another episode of the Cellcast. Joining me today is a man who's hungry for tip yip. Welcome, Jacob.
Yum. How do you know what tippy it is?
It's Ewok for fowl.
Oh, okay.
As in birds.
Roar.
So in other words, turkey.
Okay.
I guess.
Roar.
Yeah, you're not quite hairy enough for
No,
a Wookiee.
I'm not. I know a lot of guys who could fit that bill. Why, thank you. I'd like to introduce our co-host, a man who need to jump back through time for a little bit. Welcome, Drew.
How are you doing today, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Today was productive.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the apartment rearranged over the weekend. That was good.
Weren't you gone most of the weekend?
Most of it.
So Sunday is when you rearranged?
Yes, Sunday.
Okay, just verifying that.
Yes.
What have you been watching?
So how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I had a good vacation while we were off for the holiday.
Right.
Got the Christmas stuff put up.
Yeah, I like huge kudo points because you're the only apartment where we live that actually has anything lit up.
That has been the case for the past 5 years. But I'm just that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So, actually, that's not true. Last year, somebody else had some stuff down there like 3 weeks before the holiday. But anyway.
Okay. Good deal. All right. So,
what have you been watching?
What have I been watching?
We've had time to actually watch stuff.
Yes. Over the weekend, I was at my parents' place for Thanksgiving. I met the new family dog.
Good.
Yeah, name is eluding me at the second.
Give it a second. Josh will tell you.
Yeah. No, his name is Diesel.
Diesel.
He's a little chihuahua. Little guy chewed through 2 of my USB lightning cables.
I guess he couldn't be called gasoline because if he did, he'd be a little farter.
Yeah, he would. Quite literally. So when I was there, we watched a little TV show that came out this year in early 2000 called The Bradshaw Bunch on E.
Okay.
It is hysterical. It's Tara Bradshaw, who's now in very much retirement, and it's him, his wife, his 3 daughters, his grandkids, and their husbands, and it's just a blast and a half. If you've ever seen anything Tara Bradshaw does, it is hilarious. I watched that. Me and my dad watched Ford versus Ferrari.
Good movie.
On your suggestion. And that was a fantastic film.
That was better in the theaters, though.
I can imagine.
Especially during the races.
Yes. I can most definitely imagine. Now, let me pull up my not IMDb.
Letterboxd.
Thank you. We watched Thor during the weekend. Mm-hmm. There again, Marvel Cinematic Universe is Thor.
Yes.
It's one of those most people just forget about.
I don't, because I like the director.
Yeah.
Gareth Edwards. I think it's Gareth Edwards. No, it's not Gareth Edwards. Same guy who did Murder on the Orient Express. Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh. Yeah, very good film, by the way. And then I watched one that I picked up a couple of years ago called Wonder Park. It's a good film. It's a lot of fun. It's more the overcoming depression through imagination. Is it worth a watch? Yes. I have my qualms about it. Eventually, we'll get around to doing a review over it.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's worth a watch. And obviously, yeah, the the Lego Star Wars holiday special.
It gets a little tongue twisty
It does
after
just
a bit.
just a little bit. Which we'll get into that in a little bit. Also, I've been listening to on Audible. There again, not sponsored. If you want to be sponsored, Audible.
Hey, don't say that too loud. They might take you up on it. Not that we'll turn down money.
No, of course not.
In fact, remind me to ask you something when we get finished tonight.
Okay. I am listening to a book that was turned into a blockbuster film, which is Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park.
Clever girl.
Yeah, exactly. Minus there's no line in that with that.
And there's no Jeff Goldblum, even though the character's there.
Yeah, the character's there. But it's very interesting. There's one part like where the movie stops, the book continues. Mm-hmm. And
because it's Michael Crichton.
yeah, exactly. Like I've never read or listened to a Michael Crichton book, and I'm like, okay, that was a really bad point. There's one point where, spoiler for the book, 1, 2, 3. There's a point where Ian Malcolm and John Hannum are having an argument over. John Hannum is talking about how that humanity is evil and it's going to destroy itself or whatever. That it just he hates humanity, and he made an amusement park for people, kids.
Yeah,
that just made no sense. And so then you have Ian Malcolm is saying that in his crazy chaos theory that the life will find a way, and he brings up the terrible argument of at one point in our Earth's history that oxygen was a poison.
Well, I mean, according to science, before there was enough plant life to actually, in evolution and all that.
Yeah, evolution theory. Yeah,
it would have been poison because none of the fish could breathe it.
Yeah,
that's the theory.
Yeah,
I don't believe it, but
no,
hey,
I don't either. But I thought it was a very weird argument, but man, I enjoy the book. I enjoy the movie. I extremely enjoy the movie. The book is good, minus at this point where I'm reading, they're going hunting the nest in a park that still has a bunch of dinos in it. It's okay. Good luck. You got a bunch of other characters. You're gonna die. Great. All right. So that is all that I've been watching and listening to. What have you been watching?
What I have been watching, the only thing I can really point out that I watched outside of old television shows such as Cheers, ironic how that came up, considering last week's episode.
Yes, go check out that episode.
Really good. Definitely check that episode out. Cheers, let's see, we watched some 48-hour mysteries and things of that nature. But one night, my mom and my grandma were watching a Hallmark movie.
Oh, those are fun.
Called Good Morning Christmas. I sat through that so I could put it on the list.
Of course.
20 movie, 20. I wish it was 20. 100 movie list.
Easy.
I only got 20 left is the thing, and I don't think I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
So I watched that. That was like every Hallmark movie, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, I was present for the live stream of Retro Rewind's review of Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
That was a good thing. That's a good one. So when it comes out in, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, definitely give that a listen. It was a good episode.
Okay.
And since you listed a book you're listening to, I'll list a book I'm listening to.
Okay.
I am going through the very first book in the Wheel of Time series called The Eye of the World.
Okay.
It's 30 hours long. Wow. But it's a good story. I mean, it's very broad and very. There's a huge cast of characters. You can tell the guy did not write the book as we'll write this one and then see if we can make a second. He definitely started the book and decided there's at least going to be 2 more stories after this.
Yeah.
Because they introduce a lot of characters that showed up for 2 or 3 chapters, and they probably won't show up again the rest of this particular book. But you kind of get the feeling they'll come back later.
Yeah.
In one of the other 7 or 8 books. I think it's 13 books. I could be wrong on the number there. It's a lot of books.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to go straight through them because that's just not who I am. I'll have to switch to something else for a bit after I finish that. But yeah, other than that, that's been pretty much it.
Okay, so I did want to bring up one thing. How many movies do you own you have not watched? Just
That's a good question.
Estimate.
Too many?
Too many?
Probably at least 100.
Oh, okay.
At least.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and that's just me looking at those 2 totes over there full of John Wayne movies that I inherited.
Yeah. I probably got 90 because I literally counted them. I have 90 films.
But didn't you just get them like recently?
No.
Oh, that's okay. You actually dug those out when you were cleaning.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting. Like there's so many films that be like, if you're a movie buff, like some of us are, like you're gonna have movies that maybe are still in their wrappers that you haven't watched yet.
I see at least 3 discs of that for me right over there, but they're all Dragon Ball Z movies from what I can see. So
okay,
we'll just let that go.
I got you. Just let it go. All right. So
news. Although before we jump into animation news,
go for it.
Earlier today, I posted on our Facebook page the fact that we are, at least as of that look, 5 downloads away from having 2,000 total downloads on all episodes. Awesome. Thank you, people.
Thank you.
We will
so much.
Go back and look at that post if you want to see our current top 10 of what our download episodes, but we will actually go back into that come anniversary when we will go through pretty much what we've got, what the top 10 is at that point. So thank you. We do not deserve any of this, even though I'm fairly certain that is a small number podcast wise. But we still thank you because we will take any download we can get.
Yeah, they're going. It's a milestone. It's a milestone for anybody. So yeah, thank you again for what you've allowed us to do, and hoping for another couple more years to doing this.
Oh yeah, well we definitely got plenty of movies.
We got enough material.
Plenty of material.
Don't get us wrong on that. All right, so what's
nothing else? We've got at least 4 more years of Ghibli movies for Ghibli month.
That is true. All right, so
unfortunately, Josh, none of them have GG in it.
Yeah, sad. All right, so going to the news. The multi-award winning independent animation studios Aardman, known for which movies again?
Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run, and there was another movie about a rat that I can't think of the name of.
Yeah.
Flushed Away.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's some other things, but that's just the first.
Yeah, Shaun the Sheep and those films like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So apparently, this animation studio Aardman and leading global video game developer and publisher Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe have joined forces to develop a new IP, driven by a shared vision on the future of entertainment. So apparently, there's going to be a merger with a new company.
A collaboration.
Yeah, collaborate and listen. Dun, 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 dun.
Huh? I didn't catch that one.
Somebody will get it. All right.
It's not me.
All right. So, how do you like dogs?
Well, I work with one.
Hey! Hey, I'll turn into a Rottweiler and eat you.
I'm fine with dogs. It's just I am more of a cat person.
Okay. All right. So, Paramount Pictures and Scholastic Entertainment have unleashed their first look at the new CG take on the beloved children's classic Clifford, the Big Red Dog.
Can I interject something here?
What's that?
Why did they take a normal dog, put a bad Photoshop filter on him to turn him red, and increase the size to make Clifford?
I have no idea.
Anybody else who would have made this movie would have had a full CG accurate to the artwork look of the dog, which doesn't technically make sense in a real world environment, but who cares.
Now,
This dog does not look like the Clifford in the books.
no, it looks like a red. It's a red-haired.
It's a bad Photoshop filter.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like someone forgot to turn off the clipping mask.
So apparently, like, the first trailer is not a really good impression on Drew.
Do you remember my thoughts on the verse trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yes.
I'm hoping Clifford has a similar reaction and they fix it.
Hoping so. Otherwise, this is going to look really silly. Or really dumb.
Yes.
All right, so
I'm afraid they're really dumb.
Yeah, so I did release a trailer on our Facebook page. You can check that out. You can, judge for yourself. Apparently, this movie is coming out, and it should be hitting theaters November 5th, 2021.
Okay.
So hopefully
Hopefully all this COVID stuff will be gone by then.
Exactly.
Although at least we are getting Wonder Woman at the end of the year.
Exactly.
Anyway.
All right, so that's all I have in the news.
You've missed one little thing I noticed.
All right, what did I miss?
Earlier, over the weekend, we had the release of the new Croods movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it actually topped the box office list.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Much better than... It's actually the highest released movie, I think, since COVID hit.
Oh, really?
It beat Tenet.
Okay, I'm shocked. Yeah. I didn't think to look at that because I was thinking like, oh, it's the Croods. No one's going to care about the Croods.
Oh, you talking about? I'm probably going to go watch it this weekend when I get off work before we go to the Christmas party. Just so I can have something to put on next week's episode. So I got to see another animated movie in a theater for the first time since Onward.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I didn't invite you.
Hey, be like, I was going to watch it by myself. Thank you very much. No, mine is.
I haven't
watched the Croods yet.
I am messing. At least give it a watch it so you can put it on your list.
Okay.
I don't know if this will be any better. I don't remember hating the first one. I'll put it that way. I know that is not a glowing endorsement. It's just one of those that came out and I go, oh yeah, DreamWorks is making a movie. It'll be okay. It came out, I think, around the time Monsters vs. Aliens came out.
Yeah.
So you can understand my trepidation.
Got it.
Even though I didn't remember that in the intervening years. Anyway.
I got you.
We ready to jump into the spoiler-free take on this Lego Star Wars Holiday Special?
Yeah.
If I can get all the words out. So, of course, this is both of our first viewings because it just came out. Yeah. Literally on the anniversary of the airing of the original Star Wars Holiday Special on CBS.
Yes.
So kudos for that.
Yeah.
So quick question. Have you ever watched the original Star Wars Holiday Special?
No. I've seen clips from it.
Okay. You don't have to watch it, though you could probably put it on your movie list.
It's that long?
Yeah. It's like an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
And it doesn't need to be.
Okay.
But at least try.
Okay.
To sit through. I don't think you'll make it past the first 10 minutes. Because it's that bad. Well, okay. So the first one, you know the three Wookiees that show up in this that are Chewbacca's family?
Yes.
Nala, Lumpy, and I think Stinky was the third one. I can't remember. I just lost Star Wars points, but I don't care. I'm a Trekkie. They are from that.
Okay.
And, well, bear in mind, has Star Wars ever translated Wookiee speak? Ever?
No, it hasn't.
It didn't in this, and a lot of the movie is them talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it's a lot of growling at each other. You can tell what they're saying in a sense because there's a bit of pantomime built into their performance. But still, after about 5 minutes of that, you go, is this the only thing that's on? Why am I sitting through this?
Can I turn the channel, please?
In fact, I tell you what, I will the way to do it is to listen to the riff tracks of it.
Oh, okay.
I have access to this. I will get you a copy.
Okay.
Before the end of the week.
Okay.
So yeah, I have watched that. This has little to do with it, I will say, because just as a quick nod, the original Star Wars Holiday Special was actually a Thanksgiving special, not a Christmas special.
Really?
This one obviously a lot more Christmas overtones to it.
Just a little bit.
Just a touch, actually. I'm trying to figure out how to best approach this. I don't hate the movie.
Okay.
I watched it twice because the first time I watched it before Thanksgiving break, Thanksgiving kind of reset me.
Yeah.
So I needed to watch it again so that I could get a better idea of it. I do remember enjoying it more the second time I watched it yesterday. Okay. Part of that, I think, might be the fact that I knew it was coming to some degree. Okay. And I could appreciate the comedy better. Yeah. Because that's the thing. This is still a Lego movie. Yes. It's not to the quality level of, say, the Lego Movie or Lego Batman. Mm-hmm. But it's still a Lego movie. Right. And so the comedy, especially how it moves back and forth, I think is still good. I think if you have any interest in Star Wars, you should make your own judgment call and go watch it. That's my thought on it. If you're trying to decide whether or not, if you've got Disney Plus, which if you're a Star Wars fan, you have Disney Plus because The Mandalorian's going on right now. And let's face it, wasn't last week's episode great?
No spoilers.
None whatsoever.
Okay. All I know is someone showed up.
Someone did show up, and we got a lot of backstory for another character. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, you've probably got it so you can watch Mandalorian. It's 45 minutes. Put it on while you're decorating the Christmas tree. Yeah. It's not meant to be a deep movie. You're not supposed to think about it. It is still technically for kids. Mm-hmm. Which considering 2 scenes is kind of interesting. But yeah, it's a fun, stupid little thing. Don't try to take this too seriously. Yeah. It's just a stupid, fun movie, it's just how it is. What are your thoughts?
It's Lego meets Star Wars, and it's funny.
I'm so glad that the jokes landed for you because that is the difference between you liking and disliking a comedy is if you actually found the jokes funny. Yes, and if the jokes actually worked with a story.
Yes, exactly. So I enjoyed it. There again, having no pre-knowledge to any of the original Star Wars holiday special whatsoever.
I was about to say, I know you've seen Star Wars.
Yeah, I've seen Star Wars.
Obviously. I've seen one of them with you at least.
Yes. We reviewed 3 of them.
Exactly.
On a Movie of the Week podcast. Go check them out.
Technically, there's 3 more on the order, but I have no idea when we're recording them.
Yeah, exactly. Watching this, I watched it during my lunch. It's a 45-minute film. Yeah. So I could take my time, eat my meal, and just enjoy it, laugh, and probably some people are like, "Why is Jacob chuckling?" And never asked, but it's a funny little film. It's goofy, it's silly. The jokes land, and it's just like. How a certain character is actually really funny. A certain, dark side character.
Sheevy Palpatine?
Yeah, Sheevy Palpatine. Yes.
As he called himself at one point in this movie?
Yes, he does call himself Sheevy Palpatine.
Old GBT's back!
Oh, man. But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was so much fun watching it. And, if they put it out on Blu-ray at some point, I'll probably buy it.
Probably next year, I'm guessing.
Probably next year, but it's worth a watch. There again, it's nothing you could deep dive into it if you want to, but it's just a fun little film, and I highly recommend it.
Okay. All right. So now that we have finished our spoiler-free review of this movie, join us on the other side of the CGC bumper, and we'll tell you in point detail whether or not this is a good movie or not.
Yes.
In other words, we're going to review it. So yeah, we'll see you on the other side.
Ray. Wrong? Okay. This progress is a part of Christian Reek Central Network. Wrong.
Hey, Scoop, what are you doing, man?
I don't know. I'm supposed to be reading an ad.
All right, hold on. Give me it.
Okay.
All right, this podcast is part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
There you can find a collection of blogs and podcasts working together to bring you some of the best content on the web for Christian geeks, such as the Strangers and Aliens podcast. Strangers and Aliens is a conversational podcast and blog that explores the relationship between God and man through the lens of speculative and imaginative fiction, and explores speculative and imaginative fiction through the lens of God's relationship with men. Join Ben, Dr. Jace O'Neill, and Steve McDonald, a trio of Christians who are both fans and creators of story, in their conversation about the intersection of faith and imagination. The following is a spoiler-filled review for the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, and pretty much all 9 movies at this point,
Pretty much.
and The Mandalorian. Listener discretion is advised. The Lego Star Wars Holiday Special was directed by Ken Cunningham, who also directed the Lego Marvel Spider-Man movie Vexed by Venom, and Lego Jurassic World Legend of Isla Nublar. It was written by David Shane, who also wrote Lego Jurassic World Legend of Isla Nublar, and Lego Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures. The music was by Michael Kramer, who did Lego Ninjago Master of Spinjitzu, and he also did the music for Disney Gallery The Mandalorian. That was the behind-the-scenes thing they put up earlier this year.
Yeah.
Of course, the original Star Wars score was by John Williams. That comes up time to time. And the very short stinger from The Mandalorian shows up, which was written by Ludwig Göransson. Getting into the cast. A.J. Lacasio played Han Solo and a Jawa. He previously played Marty McFly in the Back to the Future, the game.
Oh, okay. You did a really good job of that one.
And he also played Lotor and James Griffin in Voltron Legendary Defender. Sir Anthony Daniels played C-3PO. Are you curious what he's played besides C-3PO? Because, believe it or not, as many times as he reprises the role,
Yeah.
I did find one thing.
Okay.
He played a character named Lord Nelson on a TV show called Ghosts of Albion.
Huh.
I know nothing about it.
Okay.
But
Well, it's good to know he's done something
But
else.
nearly every other thing on his IMDb was C-3PO.
Well, it makes sense why his book is called I Am C-3PO.
Do you know what his first role was?
No.
C-3PO.
That
This
was-
guy got really lucky. He never had to work and do any extra acting if he ever wanted to ever again. And apparently he didn't. He just played C-3PO for the rest of his days because he could get away with it.
Yeah. Wow.
Ben Pendergast is the voice of Darth Maul and General Hux. He plays Patroclus in the video game Hades. Billy D. Williams plays Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, that was listed here.
He was Harvey Dent in Batman 1989.
Yes.
And he finally got to play Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
D. Bradley Baker
Of course.
played the Clone Troopers and Max Rebo. He is also the Frog Lady and Frogman in the season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
You have no idea who that is.
No, I don't.
Because you haven't watched it yet.
No, I haven't. I'm going to binge it. Thank you very much.
Right, it's good. And he also is the voice of Perry the Platypus in Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, okay.
Eric Bauza plays Luke Skywalker and a Stormtrooper. He is he recently was the voice of Woody Woodpecker in a Woody Woodpecker TV show that I didn't know existed.
Okay. So he's not a villain from a video game series, is he? Bowser.
No, it's not Bowser. He's also the voice of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Marvin the Martian in the Looney Tunes cartoon series on HBO Max.
Oh.
Gray Griffin plays Maz Kanata. She was Selena Kyle and Catwoman in Batman Arkham City, and the mother in Only Yesterday, which we reviewed last month.
Oh, okay.
Helen Sadler plays Ray. She played a character named Julie in NCIS, and in the recently released video game Bug Snacks, she plays Elizabeth Megafig.
That's an interesting name.
That is a very interesting name. It's actually a game I want to play, but I'm waiting until I get the new console. Jake Green plays Greedo, Poe Dameron, and a snow trooper. And in the TV show The Boss Baby Back in Action, he plays a character named Bootsy Calico.
Okay. Bootsy Calico.
That's the character's name.
Okay.
James Arnold Taylor plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was Leonardo in TMNT.
Which one?
TMNT. The movie TMNT.
Oh, the movie TMNT.
Yes.
I got you. Just to make you clarify.
I understand. And he is Ratchet in Ratchet and Clank. And he is Tidus in Final Fantasy X.
Tidus.
You probably think of more as Titus.
Oh, okay. I got
But
you.
is
Titus? What?
But Tidus is the only way we've ever legitimately ever heard the name announced. Yes, that guy. Kelly Marie Tran played Rose Tico. And did you know she's playing Raya in Raya and the Last Dragon coming up?
No, I didn't.
She's Raya.
Okay.
I did not know this, so I was doing this research. Matt Lanter played Anakin Skywalker and a Rodian. And in the movie Vampires Suck, which is a parody of the Twilight Saga,
Yeah.
he played Edward Sullen.
Sullen. Fitting.
Matt Sloan is the voice of Darth Vader. And he played Chad Vader in Chad Vader Day Shift Manager. It's a YouTube series, I believe.
Okay, I was about to say.
But he was essentially, I think it's like a business, an office-like thing, but but he's wearing the Darth Vader mask the whole time because he's Chad Vader. So he literally, and he's played Darth Vader in some other things too.
Okay.
So this is not, fresh, but I thought it was hilarious that internet sensation Chad Vader is the voice of Darth Vader.
Hilarious.
Matthew Wood plays Dio and Kylo Ren. He is actually the voice of General Grievous.
Really?
All the General Grievous.
Nice.
Yeah. I did not know this until I was looking it up.
Well,
Makes me sad we didn't get General Grievous in this. Actually, we got nothing from episode 3 now that I think about it.
Well, we did.
Yes, we did. Sorry. Omar Benson Miller plays Finn. He was Raphael in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay. So-called the leader.
Tom Kane played Qui-Gon Jinn and Yoda. And he is Professor Utonium on the Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
And Trevor Duvall was Emperor Palpatine, First Order Trooper, and Amon Calamari. I think he's the Akbar that's not Akbar.
Okay.
Because Akbar technically died in Last Jedi, but this guy's obviously supposed to be related, I guess. Anyway. He played Andrea Rodea in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
And Rocket Raccoon in the Guardians of the Galaxy TV series on Disney XD.
Okay. Gotcha.
We only have 2 Kingdom Hearts connections this week, which was D. Bradley Baker. He played Waka in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay.
So he's the one who told us Titus's name was Tidus.
Okay. Got it.
Speaking of Tidus, James Arnold Taylor also went on in Kingdom Hearts to play Captain Jack Sparrow and the Prince from Snow White.
Okay. Rock on.
So, that is cast in Kingdom Hearts. What do we got in info and stuff?
All right. So info and stuff. All right, is not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through it anyway. All right. So for info and stuff, it is currently available for streaming on Disney Plus and Disney Plus alone.
Mm-hmm.
For
now. Well, probably permanently because it's a Disney Plus original.
Yeah, it's Disney Plus original. Rotten Tomatoes has a score of 71 and an audience score of 66. Production company Atomic Cartoons, the Lego Group, and Lucasfilm Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
It was distributed obviously by the Walt Disney Company. It was originally announced on August 13th, 2020.
With the greatest movie poster ever.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Just a lone Lego figure hand with a bow. It's like, oh! Well, I guess there was more than one of those.
Yeah, just a bit. All right, and it was released on November 17th, 2020. That's all I've got.
That's all you. Well, admittedly, it's all we have to work with, because we certainly have no idea what money they've made from this.
Yeah.
Getting into the summary, and this one is shorter than most of the ones I do, because if I'd gone with the regular one I saw, we would be here all day, because that one went into entirely too much detail. So yeah, chronologically taking place after the events of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which took place in 35 ABY, Jedi Rey journeys with BB-8 to gain deeper knowledge of the Force, leaving their friends aboard the Millennium Falcon to prepare for the Wookiee Festival of Life Day. However, Rey's course deviates from traveling to the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk as she is hurled by a key into an adventure across space and time at a Jedi temple, meeting various figures from galactic history. However, she must return home in time for Life Day. As I said, much shorter.
Yeah. Short and sweet to the point.
And I didn't have time to write one of my own. But anyway. So, Jacob.
All right.
Your first like.
My first like would be the humor. The humor of this film. Our short film, let's say that.
Yeah.
Because it's not technically a film, it's a short film.
It's a holiday special.
It's a holiday special. It's got, like, when it's the humor mixed with the overabundance of references to past and current Star Wars that just made me laugh and made me smile. And it was just a delight to watch, and I was grinning ear to ear for most of the film. I was like, "Oh my gosh, they did this! Oh, that is hilarious!" Yes, the fun, the funniness, the comedy in this movie was spot on, good. So that's my number one, comedy.
My number one is essentially it is the comedy, but I was going to point more on the connections within lore. Okay. Obviously, this movie is completely outside of canon. Yeah. Because it has to be. Yeah. But we do at least get some thought process on... this is the closest thing outside of the novelization for Rise of Skywalker to actually say that Finn is Force sensitive. Yeah. Because that's what he wanted to tell Rey all throughout Episode 9 and never did. Moving on. But, I mean, you get the fact that I like the subtle jabs such as thrown down a reactor shaft. Nobody comes back from that. Just pointing out that we'll never know how somehow Palpatine has returned. Yeah. That's
yes. I gotta. Oh my god.
We'll get to
that scene is hilarious.
We get so many great references. My favorite part is you've never betrayed your master, have you? And you get the shot of Lego Kylo Ren pulling the lightsaber away from Lego. What is that guy's name?
I'm drawing a blank as well. His former master.
Which is technically Palpatine. But anyway, it's like, well, yeah, technically you did betray him very badly.
Gonna slice him down the middle.
Just a little. But then of course here's the thing. I enjoy all 9 movies of the original Star Wars movies for different reasons, admittedly.
Yes.
But I recognize that there are parts of 9 and 1 and 2 that leave much to be desired.
Agreed.
If we're being honest.
Yes.
But the fact that they joke about the Obi-Wan being a little antsy about dealing with trade disputes.
Oh, yeah. I love that. That was great.
I was like, oh, goody, gas. Oh, no. Hey, we're not supposed to like the gas.
I'm so bored.
Yeah. And then, of course, all the hello there's
Yeah.
by Obi-Wan. And then, quite possibly, the greatest Han Solo moments.
Yes.
And here's the thing. You get old man played by Harrison Ford Han Solo. Plus you get Solo's Han Solo. Because that's which Solo that is.
I didn't realize
it is not episode 4 Solo. It is the Solo from Solo.
Oh, okay.
It's the Han Solo from that one. And they go, you want to shoot first? Why, yes. Boom!
Solos?
Una basca solos? McClunky. Which, yes, we actually get McClunky, which is the most... It's probably the deepest cut they do, because you only know about this if you've watched the Disney Plus copy of Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where that comes from. The Han Solo Han shot first scene.
Yeah.
Apparently the last edit George Lucas did before Disney bought it.
Yeah.
Which is the version that's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
He did let Han shoot first, but gave Greedo one extra line. McClunky. It's unlike the rest of the Huttese in that scene.
Okay.
This one's not translated. So in a kid's movie, we did just get maybe a Huttese curse.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. Supreme Leader Snoke. I forgot
you.
Snoke's name. Who cares? I hated him anyway. I just lost my spot. I mean, yeah, the comedy, the in jokes.
Oh yeah.
It's one thing to just laugh at the fact that you've got all this funny comedy that's the Lego style comedy, like they fall in the Dagobah swamp and she takes off her hair to clean it out before she puts it back on.
Of course.
But so you got that, but really for me, it's all the Star Wars cuts that you only know really if you're in the fandom. But then of course you get some of my other favorite things, such as Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi meeting Darth Vader on planet Hoth, and they go and they especially that part where they're saying no I'm me and their breathing gets in tune. It's like, okay, that's a subtle joke that very few people will get. How did you pull that off? That joke only works in stereo. You are me. It's like, yeah, that's how this works. And that's the thing. Which Darth Vader? I think I know which Darth Vader, but which Darth Vader is the one that actually leaves? You really don't know, except I think it was the other one, because otherwise he would not have known about the world's best Emperor mug. Or Galaxy's Best Emperor. That is true. But here's the other thing it reminded... That scene on Hoth reminded me of.
Okay.
Do you remember the scene in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, on the penal asteroid of Rurapenthe, where Kirk fought a shapeshifter who had taken the form of Kirk?
Yes.
That's what this reminded me of.
Okay, then.
I'm just waiting for... I was literally waiting for someone who says... I can't, like, Harsh, you can't do the I can't believe I kissed you line. But I was waiting for the other Darth Vader says, must have been your lifelong ambition.
That would be like...
That would have been like, okay, that's a meta cut. Some of the Star Wars people won't get this because they're not brave enough to go watch another show. Boy, that will get me in trouble.
Shot fired!
I'm just saying, I have watched all the Star Wars movies, and the only reason I have not caught up on the shows is because I just haven't had time to. How many Star Wars fans can say that about Star Trek?
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway, back to our review. That's my first is like you, it's the comedy.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that they have the deep cuts into lore that shouldn't work and yet do.
Agree.
At least for me anyway.
Okay.
Second like?
Second like is going to be the I'm going to say it, the descent into the Mandalorian.
Yes.
The fact that we have Rey and all these other characters are falling through these portals, and they fall into the world of the Mandalorian, and all you get is the child, Baby Yoda, squeaking and everything. He's like, oh, and everyone's like, it's like
yeah, Grogu is cute.
huh? What?
You heard me. That's as far. That's one of those cuts you throw in there to see if anyone catches you said it.
Oh, okay.
You've not watched. You don't know what I said.
No, I didn't. I know you said something.
I said something, but only people who are caught up on the Mandalorian will catch what I said. Anyway,
You are all kinds of wrong, brother. All kinds of wrong. Am I right?
no.
Maybe. Either way. Oh, I'm gonna have to go watch this before you spoil everything.
I'm not going to spoil it. I have literally gone as far as spoiler territory as I'm willing to go.
Okay. All right. So continue. For me,
Yes, we are on yours.
they're still on me. They're on me. There we go. That entire scene, even though it's like less than a couple of seconds, the fact be like you have Rey and Darth Vader are jumping through time. They're bringing characters along with them. Just this whole they're dragging everybody from the past and the future along with them, and they fall into the Mandalorian world for like a couple of seconds, but it's just perfect.
And you get to see Mando, the child, and IG-88.
IG-88, yeah,
for a short bit.
They fall back, and it's just pew pew pew.
I wish we could have gotten at least one "This is the way" in there.
Yeah, that would have been.
But that wasn't on screen long enough for that.
Right. So yeah, that is my number 2 would be the falling through the different episodes, and falling into the Mandalorian.
Yes,
I thought that was brilliant.
I agree.
All right.
So,
what's your number 2?
my number 2. Young Luke.
Yes.
Episode 4 Luke.
Oh gosh.
With his carton of blue milk.
Yes.
Especially the part where he gets mad at Kylo, throws the milk, and he catches it so it looks just like the blue laser blast from the beginning of Force Awakens. It's like,
yes.
That was good. That was really good.
That was very good.
Yeah, that's all the stuff, because he says stuff that he should that it's like out of the mouths of babes.
Yes.
Is all what it comes down to, because he knows nothing except apparently how to fix BB-8.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we ever saw that model droid in any of the original series,
he knows
because
how to fix things.
he
got it from his father.
Indeed. Also, I love I like all the different masters and apprentices.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, young Luke, the way he shows up and he has got a lot of good little quick things. It's like, okay, that's funny. And then you're back on the Death Star 2, which apparently should have been called Starkiller Base.
Yeah.
Just throwing that up there.
Okay.
Where was I? That threw me off.
Starkiller Base.
Starkiller Base. Yes, and you get Return of the Jedi era Luke. He goes, "Oh yeah, defeat all the guys in black capes. Yeah, I've been here before." Anyway, yeah, Luke. Both times we see Luke, and all the times we see Luke, it's a great. And because of Luke, we actually get my favorite line in the entire movie.
Okay.
participation trophies for Jedi, there are not.
Yes, I love that. I was like, oh, such deep cut for our culture now. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
It's so good. So good. All right, so that was your number 2?
That was my number 2.
My number 3 might be a little odd, but correct me if I'm wrong. Throughout the course of this entire special, they don't mention that Emperor Palpatine is Rey's grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
It's never mentioned.
No, it's not mentioned at all.
It's not mentioned at all. You have the almost like a budding romance between Kylo Ren and Rey that's never mentioned.
It kind of is, because she does at least react to seeing Ben.
Yeah. But also that could be from
No, the fact that she died in his arms.
yeah.
Or he died in her arms.
Yeah. That could be a factor.
Spoiler alert for episode 9.
Yeah.
Oh, let's face it, you've watched it.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm very torn when it comes to Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. There's a part of me that says I'm very glad she didn't call herself Skywalker.
Or Palpatine, for
Or
that matter.
Palpatine.
That could have gone off the rails so many ways.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we do get at least a reference to that at the end of the movie.
Yeah. A little bit. That was a good little net reference. So, to me, it was... They didn't reference... They obviously referenced Episode 9, but they didn't bring into a lot of the... Okay, that's...
Weirdness?
The weirdness of Episode 9.
Yeah. The weirdness of episode 9. That is the thing with that.
Yeah. So, yeah. What is your number 3?
My number 3, believe it or not, has almost absolutely nothing to do with Star Wars.
Okay.
But it is in this movie.
Okay.
The portal that they go between time periods in
Yeah.
looks exactly like the portal effect from the video game Lego Dimensions. Which you had to have a portal to go between the different worlds that were in that game. So the fact that this thing opens up and I'm thinking, that looks like that portal in that game.
Yeah.
That's cool that you made. I mean, obviously, you're just pulling from that because it's a thing.
Yeah.
But that's cool that's in there. And plus, the thing to open it, they call a key, which is what they called them in that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing to be happy about. It makes me kind of think that perhaps this started out life as a... like, maybe the movie started off its life as a expansion for Lego Dimensions to actually have a Star Wars one in there, which... I think, especially the way the movie is paced, it kind of feels like it was changed during production to some degree. But, yeah, I mean, I just like the fact that something from the Lego universe somewhere out there actually made it into this and was used again, especially from a video game that in 2 years, really by now, no one remembers.
Okay.
Just a weird little thing to bring up.
Okay. All right.
Your third like?
My first dislike.
Oh, yeah, we're on to dislikes.
Yeah, we are in dislikes now.
Yes, your first dislike.
I am not a huge fan of, it's within yourself the entire time plot line. I thought that was kind of, it's okay. It's a very cliche kind of story plot.
It wasn't that it was within her. It's just she was not paying attention to what she should have been paying attention to.
Right. But that it's more of a nitpick than anything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you use the, time tested, been proved, and been beat over the viewers' heads thousands of times. That old trope. Like it works for what it is. It just couldn't you have gone a different route? So yeah, that's my number one. The it's been within you the entire time trope. So what is your number one?
My first dislike. Well, I want to preface this by those who watched our last episode who might be expecting me to go into a rant. I'm not going to go into a rant, even though it's going to sound like I'm heading that direction.
Okay.
Fair warning. But I just want to say that the biggest problem that this movie has would not be as bad a problem if this movie existed in a vacuum.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. There are much better comedic Star Wars properties out there that have been released.
Yeah.
Such as, well, you want to go all the way back to the 70s, there was the Stars of Star Wars episode of The Muppet Show. That is a much better one than this. The Family Guy trilogy of Star Wars episodes. I've only really watched the first one because I couldn't really get into the second one, and I didn't bother the third one.
Yeah.
But the first one was very good.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. All 3 of the Star Wars Robot Chicken episodes are excellent and hilarious. And they're about as, jokey as this is in type of humor style. A little more raunchier because it's a show for adults.
Right.
But still was approved by Lucasfilm.
Okay.
And of course, if you want to at least get something from the Disney era, you've got the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special.
That is true.
Which is hysterical. And it pokes fun at Star Wars in the very Phineas and Ferb style, but it still hits with what all of these have in common, with the exception of maybe the Muppet Show one.
Yeah.
They were created by fans.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this wasn't created by fans.
Yeah.
But the fan push of all the jokes and all the comedy and all this makes it feel more genuine.
Okay.
This movie does not, almost feels like they were contractually obligated to make this by somebody, and someone thought it would be cool to make a holiday special.
Yeah.
That's really kind of what this feels like.
Okay.
Is that it was a contractual obligation. Don't get me wrong, it's still funny.
Yeah.
But it's missing, I think, the heart
Okay.
that I've seen in other shows that I guess I'm spoiled for.
Okay.
Because of how much love out there has been for Star Wars.
Yeah.
This feels like it was just... I'm sure the people who wrote this and directed it love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But they may not be as passionate as some other ones I've seen. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
Your second dislike?
My second dislike. Now I'm trying to, because obviously earlier on during the stream, we've had people who are like, didn't like it. I can be like those like disagreements.
I think you're allowed to not like something.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if others like it.
No, be like you have all that right in the world to do that, and it's great for it's great discussion, great discussion material to go into later. It's trying to discern what that dislike is, and I think it's more, to me, it's probably more the direction, because it's all over the place, and it's what gives it its charm. But at the same time, we're dropped into like a scene where we're given, like, we see Maul with like half of himself.
Yeah.
And there's these little things here and there. It's just like, couldn't you just, because obviously it's a 45-minute film. Couldn't they just made this?
It feels like it should be about half hour longer, just so they can pull more on stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Flesh the story out more and that kind of stuff, and made it more filling, filling, and give you more. It's like, oh, you get more. Be like, you spend more time with characters. That it's not. Be like, oh, there's Qui-Gon. Oh, there's here. Oh, you get this scene.
Yeah. McClunky.
Yeah, McClunky. Yeah, just you get little flashes of things that should have, in my opinion, should have been fleshed out even more. So it's this need to be more expanded upon. That, granted, that's my opinion. So yeah, that's my number 2.
My number 2 dislike is that it has very little to do with Life Day and the Star Wars holiday special from before.
Okay.
It takes place on Life Day, and from what we can tell, it has the same type of things. Of course, the first Life Day the first holiday special took place between episode 4 and 5. And Empire was at its height, and it didn't have this time travel aspect to it. But yes, we went to the Wookiee planet of Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Yes, we get to see Chewbacca's family. Yes, we get to see Maz Kanata call Chewbacca her boyfriend in front of Chewbacca's wife.
I didn't know that.
Nala is Chewbacca's wife.
Oh, you cheater, Chewbacca.
And keep in mind, they're rolling around
Oh my god.
because he tackled her.
You adulterous Wookiee.
Oh, Nala should be
Tearing
filing
arms off?
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get them in there, but literally nothing else that has any connection to life. Now, granted, we could leave out all the Harvey Korman skits. Mm-hmm. The singing is fine to be done with. We don't need Jefferson Starship showing up for absolutely no reason. We don't need B. Arthur singing in the cantina.
Okay.
I feel like I'm more advertising the holiday special than saying what this doesn't have to do with it.
Right.
And we do get a shot of a Mandalorian with the gun that was introduced in the holiday special. We do at least get that.
Okay.
But literally nothing else. Now, I know it's kind of weird to say it's not enough like the holiday special when the holiday special is one of the most maligned things in Star Wars history.
Yeah.
It's more maligned than Jar Jar Binks. Except people still love the holiday special because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Jar Jar Binks, from what I can see. Although I did love the thing in this one where this is a bigger disaster than Jar Jar's Senate speech to the Senate.
Yes, I thought that was good.
That was funny.
That was good.
But, and thankfully he did not show up in this at all. Thankfully.
No love for Jar Jar.
Who likes Jar Jar? This has, for something called the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, which technically all of those words are correct.
Yeah.
It has very little to do with the holiday special.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to complain about, but still, I wish there was at least more of at least callbacks. Most people's not going to get the jokes. The Star Wars fans will get them.
Yeah.
But I just wish there was more. In fact, I would also say, even though this is a Legofied planet Kashyyyk, this looks nothing like the planet Kashyyyk that we see in episode 3, in which they had to go back and look at the holiday special to match it because the holiday special was still canon then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
This looks nothing like any of the Kashyyyk we see. It's just a bunch of trees with the Millennium Falcon there.
Yeah.
That's just weird to me.
Okay.
But anyway.
All right.
I wish it was more like the movie everyone hates.
Okay.
What is your third dislike?
My third dislike. Oh. The fact that you had there's a news article running around right now that oh come on, what's the actor's name? Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill. Apparently he was not approached for, revising at least old man Luke's performance.
Right.
Well, obviously they got,
they got Lando, they got Rose, and they got C-3PO.
Why did they get Rose? Come on, really?
I don't mind Rose. I think Rose got a short stick, for being honest.
Agreed.
But I will say, this is not a dislike, it took till the second viewing for me to realize that was Rose Tico.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'd be like, I never knew that.
It wasn't until and that's after I looked at the cast. It's like, oh, Rose was in this? Where was she? And I figured, oh, look, there's the little half moon thing from Last Jedi. That must be Rose. And now that I hear it, it's like, oh, I can hear it. That's Rose.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's the fact that they don't have as much practice with the newer Star Wars characters, but so many of the newer Star Wars characters are not as iconic in their looks in Lego form.
Agreed.
And it could also be that I don't want to say that the newer Star Wars movies did not do as much work, but still, there's some things. It's like, it could be better.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Give me 1 second because I'm drawing it.
But yeah, the fact that you don't have these other characters who I'm sure it could just be that for the budget they had, they
Yeah.
probably can't afford Rey at this point.
Yeah.
For this, they probably can't afford. Well, they may not be able to afford Mark Hamill. They may have just looked at his what he charged for Episode 9 and said, we can't afford that.
Yeah, that could
even
be
though
much
he is a voice actor who has been in lots of things.
Yeah, agreed. Here's
He
mine.
probably might have worked for scale. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So here's mine. Like you,
And I don't see Han Solo, Harrison Ford coming back, but I bet you Solo's Han Solo would have come back for at least his half of that conversation.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we do get most of the Clone Wars cast
That is
remake their appearance.
That is true. Okay, so that you made a very good point. I think I'll go with that. The fact that when it comes to the newer Star Wars characters, when it comes to Poe Dameron, I didn't realize that was Poe Dameron until a couple minutes in.
Yeah, because your only hint is that he's wearing a Christmas sweater with BB-8 on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Finn was like, okay, he says his name's Finn.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's not.
He looks like a generic African American Lego figure.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's not wearing the vest. It'd be like, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Like
the only reason we
Rey's lightsaber was a cool throwback. It's orange or
yellow.
Yellow.
It's yellow. And let's face it, the main reason we recognize Rey is because of her hairstyle.
Yeah, that's it.
Everyone else has got so generic hairstyles that you actually have to look hard at what they look like to know who they are.
Yeah, and it also brings up when it comes to the original Star Wars holiday special. I had no idea who these Wookiees were. I was like, oh, okay, so these are just generic Wookiees that are coming to the party.
Nope,
I had no idea.
They are actually Chewie's family from the first one.
Oh, okay. Be like
Lumpy, Nala, and Stinky.
Yeah, when you said that, okay, that makes sense because I didn't have any reference whatsoever.
The first time I watched it, I didn't catch they were on Kashyyyk.
Huh.
I don't know why I missed. I know part of the reason I missed it, and this will actually be my third dislike, which is not a dislike with the movie. It's a dislike with Disney Plus on this one.
Okay.
I watch stuff with subtitles on.
Okay.
You know this.
Yes.
It's not because I can't hear. It's just sometimes just the way people's accents are.
Right.
Where I am. I've just gotten to a point where just to play it safe, I play stuff with subtitles on. First half of this movie had no subtitles.
Say what?
I'm not kidding. It did not show up until they were on. What was it? When after the Palpatine and Vader scene when they first showed up. That's when subtitles started showing up. It's like, oh, I didn't realize I wouldn't have subtitles on. No wonder I didn't hear the word Kashyyyk to know where they've been this whole time. I just thought it could have been the forest moon of Endor for all I knew. I mean, we did see Ewoks, and we did see what I'm assuming is Lando Calrissian's daughter.
Yeah.
It's been my assumption since episode 9.
Yeah. It's assumed.
It's assumed.
Well, at this point, it'd be her granddaughter.
It could, maybe granddaughter. Honestly, let's be honest. Lando is probably had a girl in every port. He's probably got hundreds of granddaughters, and this is the only one he knows about.
Yeah. He's a player.
Indeed. Please be a cape. Please be a cape. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Stupid joke. But anyway. But yeah, I'm annoyed that halfway there's not subtitles until halfway through this movie in any language. Because here's the thing, I thought maybe I had hit a wrong button.
Yeah.
I thought, it's on what's the one just to the left? German?
Yeah.
Whatever Dansk is. I think that's German.
Dansk.
It didn't have subtitles for that either.
Oh. Huh.
And I didn't try any of the others, so I'm thinking, if it didn't have it for German, and it doesn't have it for English, does it have it for any of the other languages? And I'd forgotten I had it on until about halfway through the movie, and all of a sudden the closed captioning shows up. It's like, Disney Plus, you had this problem at the beginning. Because I remember the first couple episodes of Mando had this problem. And I know it's because the app was new.
Yeah.
You should not have that problem at this point. Anyway, are we ready to jump into ratings on this? I'm giving it a 5.
Okay.
Middle of the road. It's like I said, I don't hate this. This is not as bad, I think, as the holiday special was.
Okay.
Because the holiday special, I'll admit, is worse than this, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't think this is as bad as episode 1, 2, or Skywalker 9. Because I still think all 3 of those have issues that this has the advantage of being comedic and outside of canon, that I can forgive a lot of the problems that I should be having with the movie. That I had with those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not great. It's middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's 5.
Okay. Mine, I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
I'll give it a second. It's a 7. It's enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. Now, great, it does have its issues. But overall, I enjoyed it, and I will most likely, probably when it comes to Blu-ray, and eventually it will come to Blu-ray,
Yeah.
or some physical format, I will probably wind up watching it and enjoying it again. So, yeah, a 7.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of the Cellcast. Join us next week for Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
Indeed.
Another half-hour holiday special.
Aye.
We did not pick these right. I'm just saying.
No, we didn't.
So, yeah, join us then. Come, Jacob. We must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
Same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast.
Oh, boy.
So where can they find you, Jacob?
They can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron and Jacob's Daily Art Corner, my personal art Facebook page. On Twitter at Jacob B. Heron. On Instagram at Jacob B. Heron. And on Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. Where can they find you, Drew?
You can find me on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. You can also find my Facebook page at Drew's Photo Bin, where I upload my photography. You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759 and Twitter at GGeorge759. Where can they find us, Jacob?
You can also visit our website, thecellcast.podbean.com, where you will find every episode we released and links to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our RSS feed, if we aren't in your favorite podcast app directory, please share, review, and subscribe to us there and share us with your friends.
You will also find a link to our Facebook group, the Double Feature Podcast Community, where we talk about both animated and live-action movies. We share this with our other podcasts, which we do with Jacob's brother Jim, at the Movie of the Week podcast, where we talk about live-action movies. You can also email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Also, please like our page on Facebook. We try to post about upcoming movies. If you comment on that movie's post before we record, we'll read your comments in the episode. And remember, every time we say the Cellcast, that is with a single L.